¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, hermano.
Hey, it's good to see you, my friend. The hair looks longer than usual. Is it longer than usual?
Yeah, I definitely got to cut it. Trim it up a little bit. It's kind of long and shit, man. I have been in the barbershops or the beauty salons much these days. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're looking good. It's nice to see you at the office, FRM. Did they up their internet? Because it seems like it's a little better than usual. I'm probably jinxing myself.
Yeah,
Lucky Nate pay for it?
I put a formal complaint in about a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, man, I can't be doing my boy Ariel like that. We need to step it up, So
Thank you.
We always look pixeled out. We look like we're in the 80s and shit. And you're like prime time every time, I see like the rewinds of the clips and stuff. I'm like, man, it looks like trash, So
I feel you.
we stepped it up a little bit.
Thank you.
Working on it.
And I didn't know you were a block asset guy. Isn't that Darren Till's company?
His company, he might have an NFT with him, but this is a company that I'm fucking with. There's only 2,000 NFTs left. And after I whoop that guy's ass that sells that cheap whiskey, them things are going to be like the hottest item on the planet. So go get yours now before. And if you get yours now, you make some money on it, man, on that NFT. So we're almost sold out as it is. So.
Okay. All right. So there's a lot to talk to you about, my friend. We haven't talked in quite a while since before your last fight. You just mentioned.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yes, it was before. It was once the fight in March was announced. So it was like early February the last time we spoke. It's been a while. You've been a little elusive.
Yeah, man. Kind of have to these days, brother.
Why is that?
Many reasons, We won't get into all of them today, but man, I'm just glad to be on here. Always fucking love your show. Even if I'm not on here, your show's like one of the few shows I do watch because I barely watch TV.
I appreciate it.
Catch up my bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Much respect. You got a lot going on.
If I may say something, I know you already stopped the subject, but if I may say something, I just want to touch on some points you were talking about.
Please.
I do, to a certain standard, we are at the best judging we've seen, right? Because the guys have had so much time and experience doing it. And I strongly agree that there should be accountability because as much as the judging overall has improved, there's still some shit referees out there. There's still some 30-27, 30-27, and then the other guy goes 30-27 for no reason. Happens of it, like you're destroying careers, man. One fight could send a guy to fighting a world championship or right back to the gauntlet, having to work his way back up there, I don't think it's fair to let these guys go without no accountability. There should be a commission. I know that there's a commission already, but there should be a commission that like, hey, man, why did you do this? Validate these points. Why did you see it opposed to everybody else? Sometimes you see that the whole online media and a lot of the media guys that are calling the MMA fights, some of them are a lot more knowledgeable. I'll see a fight that's a complete robbery and I'll be like, man, maybe it's just me because for whatever reasons, let me go online and I'll see the media's right with me. It'll be like 16 publications agreed that so-and-so won. And then like 2 or 3 thought it was a draw. And then like 1 publication said the other guy won. Yeah, there'll be 2 referees calling it for that person that didn't. I hate it. I've been a part of many robberies in my life, but I hate seeing it happen to people, man. And it could ruin somebody's career. I think that one night, that these judges are text messaging or chewing too much bubblegum could really destroy a fighter's career. Not everybody's going to have a lengthy career like mine, 20 years in the game. So I just think we could definitely tighten up on the referee, make them accountable and, cut these paychecks in half or some type of sanction, something,
Couldn't agree more, especially, you're doing the show win model. Not only are you falling down the ladder in terms of your place in the division, but like you're literally losing money as a result of these guys.
Your purse gone, bam.
Yeah.
A lot of us work off show money, win money. There goes your win money,
That model needs to go. You know what I'd love? I've been advocating for this open scoring. How do you feel about open scoring? So at least if you're down, you got to put your foot on the gas.
I like the open scoring. Always been not against it. Been forward. I've also been a long time in the combat sport, so I'm kind of used to that, closed circuit judging. But I wouldn't be against the new beginnings. At the end of every round, the scores go up. My coach tells me in the corner, "Hey, you're down around. Hey, you're up around." All these factors would be cool to know.
I love it. All right, add another to the list because I've been asking a lot of fighters, and the vast majority of the fighters have said they want open scoring, and yet no one's doing anything about it. And I'm thinking like, hey, shouldn't the fighter's voice matter here? Like, shouldn't someone ask you guys how you feel about this? It's crazy.
our opinions don't matter for crap, like for the uniforms, like for a lot of the pay, a lot of the things, our voices don't matter. All that matters is that we get in there and kick somebody's ass, and that's all they care for. So it comes down to like fighters. We're the only breed like ourselves are the fighters, and many good things and many, also bad things. Fighters are very individual guys. If we were all able to get together and voice our opinion as one, these paychecks you would see just rise from me all the way to the bottom guy. Paychecks might be a little bit different, but fighters are very individual creatures, We're all pounding our chest saying, I could do it on my own. I don't need nobody. So,
you think it ever happens in your lifetime, fighters coming together?
I don't know, man. What makes us special is also like one of our bigger downfalls. Like I said, we like to pound that chest and get to that mountain all by ourselves and be like, see, I told you I didn't need no shoes, no nothing, no water. I got up here all by myself. I don't need shit from nobody. That's like a lot of fighters' mentality, and it's not necessarily bad, but for some things we do have to like work with each other and just kind of, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just kind of following the blueprint of all other major sports, and we're definitely heading to that direction, but at a much faster Mach speed than any of these other sports. Football, baseball, basketball, they've been around for so damn long. We're already in that conversation. Money-wise, this company's worth billions of dollars. Last time it got sold, it was what, $6 billion?
$4 billion. Insane number.
$4 billion. Where we at now? I have no idea because we've only like 5 exits since then. So it's nuts,
Every day, the UFC seems to be signing a big deal. Just yesterday, they announced a big TV deal with BT Sport, and I don't see you guys I don't see the pay going up all that much. I don't see the revenue share going up all that much. And so that is a little disheartening. You are a promoter, though. How many promotions do you run now? You got Icon FC. You got 2 now. And Gamebred Fighting Championship. Now, you also do boxing, too.
We dabble in boxing. We try to put on events for boxing. But right now, my main concern is to the boxing takeoff. We got a couple more dots to line up. The main concern is Icon and GFC. One's a glove promotion, as everybody knows. One's a no glove promotion, which is like dear to my heart, my little baby. It's like kind of like a niche thing, but not.
And are you the sole owner of both, or do you have partners?
I got partners.
Okay.
Definitely got some partners. Yeah.
And so you have another show this Friday in Virginia, airing on UFC Fight Pass. Icon FC 3, Jorge Masvidal's Icon FC. I like how your name is in there.
Jorge Masvidal's Icon. That wasn't necessarily my idea, but my business partners thought we'd make a bigger pop with this. So I was like, whatever, man. I'm not going to be against my own name being on the promotion. But wow, we got some guys making we got 1 or 2 debuts that are going to be spectacular. We got Bo Nickel.
Yes.
I'm always talking about this individual. He's fucking phenomenal. He's got power in the hands. He could out wrestle anybody at that weight class right now. And it's crazy because I talk with him a lot and Bo wants to use his wrestling obviously in fights, but more than anything, he wants to set himself apart from the pack by hurting people, knocking them out, submitting them. So this is not going to be, that's why I put a lot of emphasis on him. He's kind of going to be the kryptonite to all these wrestlers that just want to sniff crotches and small armpits. He's going to be that guy that's the kryptonite to them because he wants to hurt people. He wants to submit people. He wants to take it back to that Matt Hughes era of like ground and pound if he does take a guy down, So I'm heavy behind Bo. He's making his pro debut now. I've been following him all the way from his freshman year in college till now. I'm very excited about that. We also got Hamdi, Egyptian national Greco champion that doesn't like to wrestle. He likes to fucking punch people in the face. He wants to take you down, let you back up, get you tired, and then try to knock your fucking jaw off. Another guy I'm very excited about. Our main event is going to be fucking spectacular.
Look at you, Mr. Promoter. I love this. Keep going. Keep going.
We got Nixon versus Pettis, which is going to be it's going to be fireworks, man. We're trying to continually get the regionals best of the best and just put them up against each other and see what happens. And a lot of these guys, I think they'll be all-stars contending for championships, things like that in a couple of years from now. So what we heavily do is just scout the country for the next up-and-coming talent. And, we happen to have some great relations with the UFC. We're on UFC Fight Pass. And a lot of our guys are just getting picked up, to Dana White's Contender Series or straight to the UFC. So the guys get a word of that. Everybody wants to come fight for me all of a sudden.
Well, I would imagine a lot of fighters would want to fight for you because you are a fighter. So maybe you would be a little more, lenient towards the fighters, a promoter's fighter, if you will, right?
Definitely. We also got another debut that I'm very pumped about, Lydia Warren.
Yes. That's
and she
Brandon
can throw
Gibson's
that.
girl over in Albuquerque. I see him training her all the time.
Gibson's a hell of a coach. I've known him for a while. He makes a bunch of studs, and they like to knock people out on strike. So I'm looking forward to her debut. Obviously, it's her debut, so we're very like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? But I think she's going to crush it.
All right, so Bo Nickel is the big one, three-time national champion, Penn State. He's been a part of your training camps, part of ATT for a while, so this is very exciting, finally going up from the amateur ranks to the pro ranks. And for you, is this part of like your at some point, do you think you'll do this full-time when you're done, or will this always kind of be just like a side thing for you?
The promoting, it's like
how involved are you in this as you're an active fighter?
with the matchmaking
Yeah.
on the main card, every fight that's on there, I had something to do with it. Whether I'm the one that found those guys and paired them up, or I gave the final yes or no. That's just the way it's going to be, because I'm not going to literally put my name on something that I'm not behind on. Obviously, I got matchmakers. Got some great matchmakers that work with us, and it's great that we have that synergy that I could just call them at 2 a.m. and be like, hey, what's up with so-and-so? Did you book them? No, so-and-so's opponent fell through, and then we're just shooting the shit and figuring things out. So I'm very involved in a sense like that. The venues, the ticket selling, if we're selling alcohol at the place, I'm not necessarily involved in all that. We have somebody that does that. But as far as the actual fights go and who's going to be on the card, I'm very involved. Now, from top to bottom of the card, no, I don't have every single fight I don't get involved in, so I could just focus myself on like the main card and just get those fights that I really would like to see.
Okay, so that's this Friday, Icon FC3, Jorge Masvidal's Icon FC3, Bo Nickel, Lydia Warren, a ton of great names that people who follow MMA know about making their debut, so that is very exciting.
Hamdi, a heavyweight, I see him, he started, his first fights were with us. His first one was bare knuckle, and then he had another fight, and another thing about Hamdi, I want to say, this guy takes at least 3 of the fights, he's taking them like a week's notice, 10 days notice. So this guy is like, as fighter as it gets, very calm, very humble. You do an interview with him, you wouldn't like, oh, this guy's the killer that he is, but man, this guy wants to fight every day. He's getting better with the striking. So he's somebody that I know in no time the UFC's going to come pick him up, take him to the heavyweight, and man, I won't be surprised this guy's in the top 10 in a couple of years.
And you're okay with, can you make money being a feeder league to the UFC?
Yeah, I mean, it's different. We're never going to try to compete with the UFC or nothing like that. So I don't mind putting on the best regional fights. And this has a big market as MMA is growing. You want to see those guys as through the ranks, more and more people. Maybe 5, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, I couldn't have made what I'm making now, but we do all right. Where every show we get enough coin that we're like, all right, let's do it again, and let's do it again, let's do it again. And on top of that, man, I love to be a promoter and just give these fighters a chance, bring all my shine, all my spotlight onto these guys and let them go do their thing and get their 15 seconds of fame and feed their families and live out their dreams. I love it that in a small way, shape, or form, I could be a part of that.
So like I said, I haven't talked to you in a few months. Could I ask, now that we're 3 months removed, how do you feel about what happened on March 5th, your fight against Colby Covington, what transpired, your performance? Like, now that we're a little bit removed from it, as you look back, how do you feel about that fight?
Wasn't my best performance. There's a lot of things I got to work on from a technical level, strength and conditioning level. It's a couple of things, it's a couple of spots where I was defending well, and then, I either got taken down or I wasn't able to get fast enough up to my feet. And then when I wasn't able to get up to my feet, I had already spent a lot of energy getting up the wrong way, not being efficient. That's one thing, from these collegiate guys that are like high level. They might get taken down, but they get up so quick and they make it so efficient. And it's something I've been trying to do my whole career to get right. But I'm not the best at it, and I have no shame to say it. Though I put in a ton of work in that. For the most part, I grapple, wrestle, jiu-jitsu more than I do striking. Striking happens to come very natural to me. So if I do 30, 40% of my striking a week, that I'm phenomenal. All my tools are sharpened. With the wrestling, I'm constantly in there, constantly trying to get better at it, but it's a work in progress, So we got some ideas. Speaking of Bo, I'm going to be out there in Penn State shortly, in maybe like a month or so, and just wrestle with the guys and just get my butt kicked and see what new tricks I could pick up, what new techniques I could work on, things like that.
Have you been able to watch it?
Nah, I didn't want to watch it yet. Once I get back in the cage and I got to fight like a wrestler, I'll go and watch it and stuff,
In retrospect, do you feel like you maybe, it was a very heated build-up, personal. Did you fight emotionally? Do you wish you wouldn't have, like sometimes when you fight too emotionally, when you hate the guy, you fight a different way. Like, can you pin any of your, as you said, like the performance, the mistakes, whatever that you made in there, to emotion, to the way you felt in your heart about your opponent?
Off the top of my head, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't feel that way. I wasn't trying to look at the person that I'm fighting. I'm just trying to enjoy that moment, just give all my best tools. But then again, I am human, right? I don't know that if subconsciously I was just like, I want to hurt this guy more than anybody else. And I know that's because it's happened to me in the past. It's not necessarily the way to think. The way, for me at least, just go out there and compete and just give it your all every second of every minute and every minute of every round. And that's what I try to do. But who knows? Maybe I was a little bit extra emotional. I mean, you wouldn't know. You've been watching me for quite some time,
Yeah. Would you say he was better than you expected him to be in there?
No, just had good conditioning and stuck to his game plan, sniffing my crotch and just not wanting to engage and wrestle. And, there was some spots that I feel like if I had won, the fight could have had different outcomes because I would have put more wear and tear on his body. And I'm not going to make excuses, but the eye poke leading to a takedown in the first round wasn't probably the best start for me either. It was the eye poke that I got some problems from it still. I'm dealing with it. I'm going to have laser surgery shortly, like in 2 weeks. And yeah, I'm not a fan of Herb Dean, man. I can tell you that much.
Why not?
Seriously, well, we've had a couple problems, and the Donald Cerrone was one of them as well. Jake Annenberger as well. I don't know. I don't think I'm his cup of tea, and he kind of like takes it out when we're refereeing. He's done some things that I'm like, it's kind of weird, And then I get clearly throws a low blow. And I'm not saying this changed the outcome of the fight now, but clearly throws a low blow it's intentional, and Herb doesn't do anything about it, Just gives him a little like warning and like, I don't know. I hope that as long as I compete, Herb Dean never referees a fight of mine or judges it.
So what happened to your eye? What's the injury?
I already had some problems with my retina. Now I got more holes in my retina, so I got to just.
Wow. Surgery?
Yeah. Laser surgery. They don't actually like get a scar.
Okay.
It's just like a laser.
Damn.
Not a crazy procedure or nothing.
It's interesting. I spoke to you the Monday after the Usman fight. You flew back home. I remember you were eating French fries in the office. I spoke to you the Monday after the second Usman fight as well, after you got knocked out. But this one, I was told that you're taking a break. So, I asked because, that didn't end. It didn't look like you got beat up. You didn't get knocked out. So I was like, you know what?
Basically, I was fine. It was just to lose to a scumbag like that, a charlatan, especially a fucking cheating piece of shit like that, is just, I was like, And plus, as you know, man, can't say too much about his bitch ass anyways.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering if this one you took a little harder because of that history between you two.
Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah, for things that he said about like my kids and my kids asking me questions, that really made me uncomfortable. And really, I don't want to talk about it too much anymore.
Okay. Can I just ask, there was obviously an incident that happened afterwards that I understand is a pending legal matter. So I understand if you don't want to go into it, but is there anything that you can't say about that night or what potentially transpired there? Is there anything that you can clear up?
Allegedly this, allegedly that, but I'm innocent. I'm not guilty.
And it is pending, right? Like this is still a process that is playing out.
Yeah, I'm facing 3 felonies if you want to know the exact truth. And still pending, This guy's a coward fuck. So what could I expect from a coward fuck like him?
Okay. Do you feel, but you'll be able to fight, like you want to fight the end of the year, you'll be okay?
Yeah. I'm in the justice system, right? So it's not like I get to make these calls and stuff, So I want to say I'll be okay. I always I'm a positive person. I got my faith in a good outcome, but I still am facing 3 felonies,
Okay. Right after that fight, I said, all right, now the fight to make is you versus Conor because you guys have been circling each other. I remember you were in the arena. You were sitting cage side when he fought Cerrone. And you've gone back and forth now. It's been like a couple of years. And no one really kind of jumped on it. But now, all of a sudden, in the past week, it feels like there's some real momentum building here. How do you feel about what's been transpired, the back and forth between you and Conor all of a sudden on social media?
as a competitor, he ain't bad, but as a person, I can't stand this fucking rap bitch, and it's just like, give you an example. Habib wins a belt. What does Conor do? Go and talk shit about him. Fucking somebody at 205 will go and win a belt. He'll go and talk shit. Like, he just wants to stay relevant. Obviously, I'm still a hot topic while this bitch ass is just fucking in his couch, fucking sniffing coke or whatever the fuck he's doing, and he wants to stay relevant. So he takes shots, but he's not going to fight. The UFC's offered him this fight. As me and you both know, this could be the biggest fight in UFC history. Why wouldn't he want to cash in on that paycheck? Because he knows I'm going to beat the fuck out of him. And I'm not a wrestler, so if I beat him, it really looks bad for his brand because I'm going to beat him only one way, fucking in his face, standing up, punching him, knocking his ass out. It's not going to be good for the Conor brand or his cheap-ass whiskey. So that little bitch has to do what he has to do and just take the Twitter and talk shit. But when they offer him the contract, he says stupid fucking things. They can't happen. He wants me to go down to 155. For starters, I'm not going to go down to 155 for this cocksucker. You fight at 70. Why am I going to go down to 155? I haven't been in that weight class in over 5-6 years. I can't physically make it anymore, So he wants to put things that are just not real, and then he wants to talk shit. And yeah, I'll entertain the shit talking from time to time when I get bored, but we both know he's not fighting nobody. Dana White called it a long ass time ago. I'm too much man for him, too much size, as Dana says. And it's stuck with him, but at the same time, he can't do nothing about it, because he knows it's true. When we get in there, we're both striking it up. I'm going to crack his ass, I mean, everybody saw how his fights with him and Nate went, and then you see my fight with Nate. I touch Nate and I make Nate dance and fucking drop to the fucking floor and grab his stomach and pray to God, Conor knows I got fucking power and I'm not going to get tired throwing blows,
We still don't know when he'll be able to come back, but I'm just wondering, have there been any talks with your team and the UFC about potentially making this fight?
None whatsoever, man. I'm telling you, that guy goes go. He doesn't answer the UFC's phone calls when my name gets dropped in his mailbox. I don't want to drop people's executives' names in the UFC, but if you would ask certain members of the UFC staff, they'd be like, Conor's not fighting under no circumstance.
You really don't believe he would?
Think about the money he'd make.
I think he would. Honestly, I think he would take the fight. Am I crazy? I don't know. I think he would.
Tell his bitch ass to sign it.
Do you agree that right now this is one of the fights that makes the most sense for you and him?
Definitely, it's one of the fights that makes the most sense, money-wise. It's always going to be a money fight, Another fight that makes a lot of sense for me is Gilbert Burns. I like the way he fights. I like the way he competes. He comes to give it his all. And the way that he called me out was fucking amazing with me. Like, hey, let's fucking fight. Let's find out who's the fucking badder motherfucker, beat each other up. So, once I get all healed up and everything is good, I'm looking to fight one of these guys,
Which one do you like better?
Can't hear you.
Sorry.
There we go.
You hear me?
Something got loose there.
Second. You hear me? Yeah. All right.
We'll see.
Here I am talking about your connection, my connection. Which one do you like better, Durinho or Conor? If you had to choose, which fight gets you more excited?
Fucking Conor's a shitload of money,
Yeah, all right.
Durinho doesn't sell like that. Not to diss him, but he's just not a box office draw like that. I want to fight Durinho because I like the fighter that he is, I remember watching Durinho at 55 and I didn't think too much of him. He came up to 70 and I happened to be live in China when he was fighting this tough Russian dude. And I said, man, this guy turned the corner. And then shortly after, he's competing for the world belt title, he's beating next champions, all types of things. So he's definitely cut a corner. And I could say that I appreciate his style. He comes to either knock guys out or submit him. And I think the fans would take to that fight for a fact. But that being said, a paycheck's a paycheck, man.
Yeah. No, that's the right answer. I'm happy that you're telling it like it is. That is the right answer. MSG in November might be a little too soon, but that would make all the sense in the world. Even early next year, I feel like you would wait. This is the fight to make. I can't, other than the Nate trilogy for Conor, there's no other fight out there right now that I think brings the kind of star power that he's looking for. You're both in the same weight class. Like, it almost feels too easy, if you ask me.
Yeah, it does, until they put my name in front of his fucking face and he stops answering phone calls. So
he's looking big. Have you seen him lately?
I haven't seen his ass, I don't keep up with sniffers.
You don't follow him on social media?
I don't have social media actually for some time,
You're off it.
Yeah, I have it, but it's like not delegated by me as often. I post the pictures. I mean, I send the pictures to get posted. I write the captions. I do all that stuff. But I've been trying to stay off of it, man. Just, focus my time in the gym a little bit more and do things. And Instagram be getting your boy in trouble, brother.
Yes. What do you mean? DMs and whatnot, right?
I'm going to plead the fifth on every question here.
What about this Michelle Pajeda who tried to make you out to be the bad guy, and then you come out with the receipts? This was one of the great backfires in mankind. What happened here?
This is speaking about our society right now and how we're declining as a society to a certain extent, man. Like, how do you put your wife out there like that? And then you see what happened. Like I as he was talking and saying all that stuff, I didn't even see his fucking fight. People are like sending me after, like, look, is this true, bro? You holler at this chick? Ah, that's hilarious. I'm like, who the fuck is this chick, bro? So I go and do a little research and I find that. It's all up in my DMs, and I'm like, all right, cool. And as much as she was like all this stuff to me, all I said is, oh, thank you and God bless. I had no idea even who she was, if she was this guy's wife or not. I just thought it was somebody reaching out being cool. And I was like, put some emoji hands, like, yeah, thank you and God bless you. As you can see, I didn't say not one word back. And I don't know how it was, if she erased the messages and that's all he saw, or if he told her, hey, hit this guy up because this is how I'm going to make this fake narrative and we're going to get into a fight because of this, baby, and I'm going to be able to buy you those red bottoms you always wanted after Masvidal breaks my jaw. I don't know what his train of thought was as he's fucking conspiring this fucking bullshit, but straight up bullshit, And if he wants to scrap, when I see his bitch ass somewhere, I'll scrap him. But as far as like getting money or him being a ranked guy or somebody that I care to fight, no, he doesn't fit any of those categories. So he has to make up these fictitious stories about me wanting his chick, and I don't even remember too much what she looks like, but brother, I could really care less about any chick that's married, There's so many millions of fish on the sea that I'm not trying to do that. I could really give a fuck less, bro. I wish them nothing but happiness in their whatever they call together. But as far as me and this fucker goes, if he sees me in the street, then we could talk about it. But getting in the cage, like, bro, you're literally nobody. You got time to put into this work. You got some wins to do. Maybe you should try out for like Olympic diving or something, because that's the type of shit you're doing. You're not really fighting. You're fucking making a circus show. This guy doesn't entertain me in any way or get me excited at all.
Okay. By the way, could I ask you, your old foe, Nathan Diaz, kind of in a predicament right now with UFC where it feels like they're almost sidelining him, icing him on the last fight of his deal. And we were talking about fighters coming together and whatnot. Have you paid attention to this at all? And if so, do you have any thoughts on what's been going on with Diaz?
I think Diaz got too much CTE. He probably can't even fucking understand what they're putting in front of him. I don't know. I usually don't take the UFC side, as you know, for much things. But from what I've heard and seen, I'm like, this guy's just a fucking diva, bro. Just fucking fight. I could sign him off in his last fight if he wants. All that shit talking he's been doing lately. I wouldn't mind breaking his fucking jaw and sending him off to whatever gambling casino he's going to be fighting at, or Indian reservation he'll be headlining. I don't mind, But he won't sign when my name gets brought up again. It's another goes ghost on Hunter, goes ghost on other matchmakers for a couple of weeks when my name gets brought up. So it's whatever, man, And if he's hearing this and then he's going to make a little stupid tweet and he's going to do the whole fucking thing, but just sign a fucking paper and let's go fight, man. Let's go fight. You make all this noise that if you had round 4 and 5, what were you going to do, brother? Just lay on your back and hold your stomach again and fucking get your face pounded. That's all you were going to do, So I don't respect him too much, and I'm really under what he's saying. I think a lot of it is just bullshit, just him trying to get the fans on his side. There's been a lot of fights offered to his bitch ass, and he just doesn't want to take them.
By the way, what happened? Because leading up to your fight in November of 2019, it was a very cordial relationship. Now it feels like there's a lot of bad blood. What changed?
Well, I guess me kicking him in the fucking mouth changed, because then his real came out, the referee stopped him because he had numerous cuts on his face. I never once went to the referee, hey, you should stop this fight. This guy looks in bad shape or something. He called me a coward, said all types of shit, and continues to play it up like that. Like, you don't have to get the rematch like that. You could just say, hey, let's rematch. It was a good first fight. Let's go again. You calling me a coward or that I was ready to quit. Like, and have you ever seen me quit in a fight, Ariel? Like me just backseat or something like, no, this guy's too much. Especially if I'm up on all fucking judges' scorecards going into the 4th and 5th round, all the damage that I put on this guy, I'm going to all of a sudden just quit because the pace was too much. If anybody was putting the pace on anybody, it was me on him, you know? So him calling me a coward, him saying that I was getting tired, that I was getting ready to quit, it's like, you ain't got to do all that, bro. But if you want to do it, sure, man. You could join the list of fucking idiots that I know.
Okay, so Conor, Gilbert, Nathan, you're interested in all these fights. These are the fights that interest you right now.
Wonder Boy Thompson as well. Would love to get a rematch with him. Still a big fan of this guy. Love how he fights, how long he's been doing it, staying on top of the game. So I would like to fight Wonder Boy too at some point. You know, there's some good fights to make for me.
Can I ask? I know you're a big boxing guy. Kamaru Usman has been talking about boxing Canelo. Do you think he would be able to hang with him? Do you think he'd be able to beat him?
I think Canelo would embarrass him. You know, I know that Usman might have got that good right hand on me and stuff, but that's because the takedowns help set that up. You know, in boxing there is no takedowns. Usman doesn't have speed or like reflexes. You know, he's gotten a lot better than when he first started, but I think that'd be like the worst stylistic matchup for him as well too. You know, because Canelo can fight on the inside. He sees, he can slip, and he has insane power. Doesn't get tired in fights. I just don't see the outcome well for Usman at all, bro.
What about Ngannou Fury?
I would put all my money on Fury as well, but I give a lot more chances to Ngannou there because of his unreal power, and he's wild too. You know, he's something that the boxers, as many times as they've seen punches and combinations and stuff, they haven't quite seen something like Ngannou. He's kind of like a wild cat, you know. He throws from weird angles and still connects on people and knocks them the hell out. He's nowhere near as polished as Tyson Fury or nothing, but that actually might play into his favor to cause some scrambles in the boxing world, you know, and throw from different angles that Fury might not be used to. But Fury's seen it all too in the boxing world. And I think just the conditioning that Fury has, his mobility, the head movement, the guys that he's already beaten they hit just as hard or harder than Ngannou and know how to box. And I hate to go against my MMA guys. I want MMA to do it, but I don't see it happening. But if there was a guy that could probably do it just based off power alone, it could be Ngannou, right?
You think Leon could beat Usman?
To tell you the truth, I don't watch so much of Leon's fights, you know, because in the past he used to bore me. His last 2-3 fights I haven't seen, so I don't know if he's evolved or not. I don't really keep an eye on his ass, you know. So I wouldn't know what to tell you other than I think Usman would crush him, you know.
Okay, and just one more potential one that I wanted to ask you about. I had your teammate Dustin Poirier on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he said he doesn't really want to fight Colby because of the things that Colby has said about his family. It's too personal, but at this point, he's so desperate to fight. He's like, F it, I'll fight the guy. I'm down. Would you be in favor of that fight happening, and would you help him for that fight?
Oh, definitely. I'd help Dustin out in any fight, you know. I am in favor of that fight, and I'm not. Dustin started at 145, then he went to 155, which was perfect for him. I think at 70, he'd be giving up some size to Colby, but it's a fight, man. And fucking Dustin's a dog. He's good off his back. I've seen him in my very own eyes submit Colby numerous times with triangles and guillotine. So, you know, I just know that Colby's not going to fight him out. He's going to immediately go to sniffing his crotch and just fucking try to hug him as tight as he can. You know? So I don't think it's the best fight for Dustin, especially that he's coming off a loss. I would like to see him maybe gain some momentum, fight somebody of more of his size, smaller wrestler, and get that momentum, and then go get that fight. You know.
One last thing on all of this, you know, since you are a promoter as well, do you think that there should be, you know, I feel strongly family should never come up in any type of way in a build-up to a fight. Should the UFC be a little more strict when it comes to this stuff? Like, they could pull you guys to the side before the press conference and say, yo, we're not talking about family today, all right? Get it out of your mind. Talk about anything. Call the guy every word in the dictionary, insult him, but just leave everyone else out of it. Do you think that should be the case, or is it just, hey, it's the fight game and whatever happens, happens?
I think the UFC has done a great job in not being the moral police, not policing us. You know, you do as your own. And I think fans and audience, like, nobody cares for Colby. There's not a person that, like, lines up for his meet and greets and that type of, you know, behavior and promotion. Not a lot of people get behind. Yet they'll watch the fights and stuff because half of them are rooting for this guy to get his jaw broken. The other half are just fucking drunken in the moment, you know. But I don't really think that promotion sits well with a lot of people. And it's kind of like, you see his numbers are continuously some of the worst in the fucking league, you know, and it's for a reason. As before I speak on everybody, I talk about just men and men in general. Real men are not going to attack women and children. It's like it's beneath us. I'm not going to attack. As much as I might dislike somebody, I'm not going to talk about their kid. Even if I knew that would hurt him and that could play something on him, you know why? Because I'm involving somebody else. I'm involving this innocent child, you know, that's going to ask questions to the parent at some point, like, why is so-and-so talking about me? I'm not going to involve somebody's wife either. I don't have to. I feel confident enough in these bad boys that I don't have to play those psychological games and I'll just come and break your jaw. I don't think the UFC should police us. People want to be assholes and talk about what they want to talk about. Let them. The cards will unfold and people will see what they're truly worth and not, you know.
Said Icon FC3 going down this Friday in Virginia.
Rich had some of the highest views.
Oh.
Actually, the highest views in North America. On the worldwide scale, there's some promotions that are beating us out, you know. But in North America, we've had the 2-time highest ratings on UFC Fight Pass.
Damn. Look at you.
And we got some fights, man.
And when's the next Gamebred Fighting Championship?
We're working on it. We already got down a location, a site for it. And I am like 70% on closing a main event that I've been wanting to close. That I know that when I announce this main event, you're going to be pumped.
Oh, wow.
Look at me. You're going to be pumped. You're going to be like, you know, because it's bare knuckle and it's some guys that you would pay good coin to see scrap with no gloves, you know. So we're working on it still. I don't want to say anything yet till I get to like a 90% sure that this bout's going to happen. But once it does, we're going to be in a good place.
I like it. And no I saw Paige do the wrestling on Sunday. Any wrestling for you coming up or no? With Dan?
Man, I'm just wrestling with my demons right now. It's only wrestling I'm doing right now. But
you all right? Everything okay? Sorry.
Good, man.
Everything's
just,
good?
You know, right now, if I get some time on the calendar, yeah, I've been a little bit booked up and busy. Between training, working, and traveling and stuff, I haven't got too much other time for other things, but you never know, man. If that knock comes in the door with a little envelope under that door, and that envelope weighs enough, man, you can see me doing some wild shit, man.
Or maybe just some cafecito, you know?
Some cafecito with a fat check, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because for the sweat equity, you got to pay my ass.
Sure. No.
Or they got to piss off Dan Lambert, and then he tells me, hey, we got to go fuck these guys up again. And then for Dan Lambert, anything, you know, I'll fucking kill a motherfucker. So, you know, if Dan gives a green light, these motherfucking savages over there know I'll come domesticate them real quick, man. I mean, they know it already.
Last thing, are we going to see you fight again this year?
Yes.
Yes. Time frame?
Yeah. You know, I got some things that I can't really talk about right now. You already know what they are.
Okay.
It's kind of like, you know, making things weird. That's the reason why I can't necessarily give a date yet and stuff like that. So I'm using that kind of like, instead of looking as a negative, I'm just going to work on myself. Just get better at this, get better at that. You know, rehab a couple injuries that I've had. I've been in the sport 19 years. Come a couple months, it'll be 20, you know. So, you know, I'm not necessarily a spring chicken, you know. I'm still healthy. I can still go and compete in that. And I still go into the gym and work out with the young, good guys that we have up and coming. And I feel great after the session. So I know that I still got a lot in the tank. Like just now, I got to micromanage myself a little better. I got to take care of myself in those long spurts of not fighting. That's when I really got to condense it and like, let me focus on what I got to get better on, you know.
Good luck to you, my friend. Good luck on Friday. Icon FC3 Virginia Fight Pass. We spoke about it. Bo Nichols, MMA debut, block asset. Check that out as well. Is there a Jorge NFT there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
1,000 made.
How many left?
I need this guy to be quiet back there. I don't know who's talking right there.
Okay, sorry. Abe, can you keep it down?
Only about 2,000 made. Get yours now, because after I knock out that dude that makes that cheap whiskey, you know, these things are going to be like hotcakes, man. Everybody's going to want one, but nobody's going to get one.
I'd love to see that fight. That's the one that I think should be made. Good luck to you, my friend. Thank you for coming on, as always. Appreciate it. And good luck with everything else going on as well.
bless you. Do I still have more time to say some things?
Absolutely. I thought you wanted to go, but yes, please. You have all the time in the world.
One, I want to say, are the greatest country in the world, America. We're taking several hits on our freedom of speech, on numerous things, So I just want to say, God bless America.
Yes.
Let's keep doing the right thing, Let's get these people that are tyrants, that are sick with greed and power out of here, And I know this is a time to promote myself in fights like that, but I really feel like this is the last place for freedom in the world. We just seen what Canada did, removing handguns from everybody. And I could go on here and tell you every society that's removed guns and stuff like that from the population, what's happened shortly after. And it's statistics, it's just history, From great places, great countries, all these countries, once they remove the guns from the people, the opposing parties and all this stuff, they got wiped out, murdered, So I just feel like we're not heading in the best direction. So I just want to say, God bless America. And we need more people that uphold our Constitution because it's the greatest piece of document ever written. It's the only thing that keeps us free. I was just at some gatherings for trying to help out Cuba and stuff like that. And it's like really bad over there. And the country, the media is not covering anything that's happening with Cuba. They don't give a damn. This is 90 miles away from us. They're trying to bring it over here little by little. So you can call me a conspiracy theorist or just somebody that likes to review history, man. And I see where this country's headed, and I hope that I'm completely wrong. And I hope that more people that love the Constitution stand up and keep this country as free as possible, because especially Texas and Florida, we're like the last places of fucking freedom in the world. If you look all around Venezuela, Chile's not looking so good right now, Argentina as well. And we see what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. It's just like all of a sudden getting bad everywhere. And it's for us, America, to be the beacon of freedom for the whole world, China and Taiwan, it's just bad everywhere. And I know this is the MMA hour, but to all my Americans listen that love the Constitution, do the right thing, man. Let's get these fucking people out of there that don't need to be in fucking power. Hopefully they don't rob the election again. God bless everybody.
All right. Thank you, Jorge. Nice mic drop there. I appreciate it. Good luck to you on Friday. I'm looking forward to that. God bless America. God bless America. Yes, vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out.
Vote them the fuck.
Yes. I was just joking. No, we can't end it like that. Gosh. I was just kidding. There he is. Jorge Masvidal joining us. I think that's the fight to make.